Hey everyone, welcome to POPXP. And before the show starts, make sure to click that subscribe button and click the bell to get notifications when we go live and we upload awesome new content. And don't forget, if you can, make sure to share our stream on all your social media outlets. We appreciate it, and thanks for helping us grow the POPXP channel. Hey, what is going on YouTube? It's the brain of the mainframe here, Nile Scala, with the most amazing Frank you're ever going to meet, Mr. Frank Amazing. And Frank, it's that time again, my friend.
It is.
It's crowdfunding comics time. Crowdfunding comics time. Yeah. So, man, we've got a great group of guests tonight. Have a really cool book, something they put together. And, it's just something that, kind of little something, that was just compiled with creators from around the world. And I have to say, it's one of the more interesting campaigns I have seen on Kickstarter. And it's quite interesting, though, some of the gentlemen we have on tonight, we haven't had on before. And I don't know why. I have no clue why we haven't had any of these fine creators on before. But tonight we're breaking that. We are breaking right into it. So without further ado, everyone, I please want to welcome the comics advocate himself, Mr. Rob Andersin. And we've got C. Michael Lanning in the house and the great creator of creators, Mr. Mike Sealie. How are you gentlemen doing tonight?
Good.
Thanks for having us on this evening.
Yeah.
Hey, well, glad to have you on. Finally, have you guys on the crowdfunding comics series. And, Rob, I mean, you are, comics advocate. I mean, you're always pushing indie comics, news on comics, pushing people's stuff. Really, man, I'd love to just really quick, let the viewers out there who aren't familiar with you and what you're doing, give them an idea of who Rob is and what you do for the comic community, the indie comic community.
Well, my name is Mr. Anderson. I am known as the uncanny, unboxable, advocating creator who creates his own series of books about fetish monsters and more. I am all about helping everyone rise together. So I do it through a site called comicbookadvocates.com. And now with the help of Terraform and being part of Terraform, these two gentlemen below me are part of it as well as partners. We are bringing together what will be a bridge between amateur to pros and a place for everyone to come and showcase their amazing works in the Continuum, a library of creation that is being formed now.
Very good. And Rob, as an amateur, no, I'm just joking. How did all you guys come together though? Like, how did Terraform Comics come together then?
That would be a lot to do with Luke Stone wanting to build something and then asking us about it. Brought together a bunch of creators and we all started throwing ideas around, and we all wanted to change the landscape of comics. And we thought, like, the reality is it's easier to not only to get further in your career as a comic book creator when you work together, but it's also beneficial. We learn from each other. We challenge each other. It's always about what's the best idea in the room. And we do that constantly, and that's what we get. We get this great sense of creation when you're getting challenged. Because when you create by yourself, let's be honest, no one's challenging you. But when you have to submit your stuff to the group that you're working in, they're going to be like, well, could you do this better? Could you do that better? And right after you're done getting angry at them, you listen to them, you learn.
So is that how you guys all work together? So say Mike Sealie, am I saying that right, Sealie?
Yes, yeah.
So say Mike is working on a book and he's sending it. You submit it into everyone for their review?
Yeah. That's part of it. It's the great thing to me, I feel like, is there's a lot of creators out there that are right there at the cusp. Maybe they're great artists or they're a good art writer, and they want to get the energy to actually finally put out a book, or they've put out books in the past, but it didn't get the audience that it needs. We're trying to make sure there's an audience for those who may have already created in the past, as well as those who are just at the cusp of creating something that they've had ideas in their head for a long time. They've already maybe got some pages down, and it just is that tipper where you need somebody that looks at your stuff to edit, where you need somebody that knows how to letter, because all you know is, I know how to draw, I have a story, but how do you get it all to come together? And that's, I think, the best way to describe what Terraform is trying to do, to bring creators together so they can actually put out a quality product. And so there's vesting involved as far as what you put in, and you got to be real, because there's a lot of creators that have ideas, but are you ready to push forward?
Yeah. Now is Terraform Comics is that continually growing with artists, or are you guys just a select group and that's where it's going to stay?
Nothing's off limits.
Nothing's off limits.
Nothing. We're not committing to anything, because then you've already boxed yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to box yourself in comics. Always keep the doors open. Let's see what someone wants to do. Let's see what their pitch is. Let's see if it fits for us.
I'm looking for like talent. Always somebody that I feel I see their art out there, or they're doing stories or trying to create right now, and I see that they're like there. And I was like, they just need a little bit of a push. And I was like, yo, you're ready. Just get with these guys and they're gonna bring it together and shave off the rough edges, kind of thing.
Yeah. Now, is everyone in the group right now, are you all writers, or is it a mix between writers and artists?
I'm an artist with ideas.
See, what you're an artist. Rob, you're primarily a writer, right?
Yeah, and it's funny too, because both of them actually are creators of the concepts of two of the stories in the Continuum right now. Both are set to be their own series, believe it or not. But both of them went to writers to help them get across the finish line, which you see a lot, where artists and writers can work together. And if they work together, suddenly beautiful things are formed. If you want to talk about Reapers real quick, it's actually the image you see in between the mics. What's splitting the mics is the Reaper image right there. That amazing piece of art from our friend C down there. If you want to talk about that.
Yeah, no, let's actually first though, real quick. Why don't Mike Sealie, tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into comics, and then we're going to jump over into C.
I've been drawing for all my life, and I kind of got out of comics for a very long time. But I had published and done some ash cans many years ago, many moons ago, when ash cans was a big thing. I did some stuff where I worked with one of my mentors was one of the guys that was involved with the very beginning of Milestone Comics, and when I lived in Detroit, which is huge. And it was before that even came into but shortly after they went into that. So Arvell
Milestone's back, man.
One of my mentors, hands down. And so, but I got out. Life gets at you with like just marriage and kids and stuff like that. And so stress brought me back to my art. And so I got back into my art. I literally met an editor in Miami Comic-Con, was disheveled, showed my artwork. Oh man, your stuff is pretty good. A long story short, he had me do some stuff that he published in one of the things, which sparked me, which had me continually start doing more stuff. I've since done some stuff for Marvel, Upper Deck, Tops, Star Wars. I've done some stuff for X-Files, some sketch cards, some other indie comics and stuff like that. So, and I just finished the Star Wars project for Mandalorian Season 2 sketch cards. Literally Monday was the deadline. And so I'm constantly working. I'm doing some professional work and stuff like that. But I'm really passionate right now about creating my world.
Oh, very cool, man. I dig that. That's awesome. C, what do we got going on with you, man?
Yeah, well, I don't have that near an extensive resume as Mike has, but so I floated around Facebook for a while, showing art, doing art groups and things like that, and I got a message one day from Roland Mann over at Silverline Comics.
Yeah,
he said, "Hey, he said, hey, do you do comics?" I said, "Yeah, I try to anyway." He said, "Well, I said, he asked me, what are you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm just trying to, perfect my art." He said, "Why don't you try it with comics?" So he got me over there on Silverline. I have a project with them working on that too. And met up with Rob with doing Weekended about where we go over mainstream and indie stream news and stuff. And through that, learned about Terraform, got in the group. Rob kept pestering me about coming up with an idea. And I got with Meredith Loughran there, and we created Reapers. So right now, I've got another book coming out from Silverline eventually, and we have Reapers. I'm pretty proud of, because that will be my first sequential art published. I've only had a couple of covers over to Silverline so far. So
Oh, very cool, man. And I think the campaign, it was funny because I messaged Rob earlier today. I'm like, dude, I was like, I got, you got in for like, a half-hour slot. I'm like, but I'm looking at it, and you guys have a massive project here. I mean, a massive campaign of just an abundance of all these great comics and stories all under one, cover. So, I mean, let's dive into this. First off, Rob, how long is the video?
101 seconds.
Perfect. Let's play the video and check it out.
101.
Are you ready to enter the Continuum? Well, if you are, here's what's ahead for you. Reapers by C. Michael Lanning and Meredith Logren. When spirits can be harvested and sold for energy, the ragtops must navigate psychic vampires, alien reverends, and other money-hungry groups to reap that sweet, sweet spiritual gold. The beginning of Wolf and Fox, it all starts here. From Luke Stone, Rob Andersin, a newly divorced heroic duo must come to grips with the end of their relationship while trying to find a way to work together to protect the city they both love. From Mike Sealie and Bobby Gregory, The Eclipse. After a tragic event on one of the Hawaiian islands, Eclipse heroism is called into question and becomes a person of interest of a fixer employed by the U.S. government. The story of Eclipse is a catalyst to introduce a universe unknown till now to evoke your fandom. Dawn of the Dead by Austin and Company. Dawn has special psychic abilities and her nightmares are wreaking havoc on the world. Now she has been kidnapped by a nefarious group who wants to tap into her nightmares. They will soon find out that her deepest, darkest fears are raising the dead. And finally, Only Death Can Save Us. That's right, from Russ Leach and Company. Only Death Can Save Us is a Bronze Age-inspired cosmic fantasy romp, and you'll get the first 8 pages of this epic within the Continuum. If Twilight Zone, Outer Limits, and Hitchcock Presents were working together and was a comic book series, it would be the Continuum.
I mean, that is such a great undertaking that you guys have put together. So what is this ultimately like the campaign for the preview of Terraform Comics and what you guys are bringing to the table?
It's a little bit that way, but it's also about working with other creators. Continuum is supposed to be a place where we all can come and work together. Because, I mean, let's be honest, anyone who gets into comics always talks about that day where we're all going to work together. I got tired of waiting for that day. So I created this with the Terraform people using, even like you mentioned, the Terraform thing. Luke wanted us to do a 3x3 where we started our stories in a book with 8 pages. So we were like, why don't we start doing that? So Wolf will be a Terraform book. But the perfect example for Bobby Gregory and Sealie down there, that's going to be their own property. Same thing with C. Michael Lanning. He's going to go with Meredith and they're going to go do their own thing. But we interact with each other. And that's awesome, isn't it? We all rise together.
Yeah, no, it's a great support system, just everyone kind of chiming in on everyone's projects. You guys kind of working together, help supporting, marketing each other's stuff. Who knows? Maybe you can even have a cross, a few cross universes here or there. But I mean, we've had Russ Leach on with his book Only Death Can Save Us, which is an absolute gorgeous book that he had. I think he ran on Indiegogo. I don't know if he ran it on Kickstarter too, but I know he ran on Indiegogo. It's a gorgeous book. And Rob, the new book that you have, well, I'm gonna actually go, let's see how this order goes here. Dawn of the Dead, right? We got that title,
which is a preview.
The Wolf
that we're going to do. The Wolf is also a Terraform property.
Yeah. So Dawn of the Dead's a Terraform property.
It'll be a one-shot from Austin that we're going to be putting out. We wanted to give a preview to everyone to show what we've been working on. And we want to build the excitement because half of comics is letting people know what you're doing. I know we have this thing where we don't talk about it, but if you ever look at Marvel and DC, they can't wait to boast about what they're doing months ahead. So this is showing months ahead. Look what's coming for you guys. Drink it in now. Get excited about it because it's coming. Just
that's a great idea, man. It really is. I love this idea. And then the Wolf, this is what you're working on.
I mean, how often do we see talk about divorce in comic books where it affects the heroes that are protecting a city? It's such a great metaphor. It could be great for teenagers going through divorce. Hell, it's great for me. I've gone through divorce. Just writing it has helped me because it's this divorce duo that has to protect the city, the metaphor for protecting your kid. It's the perfect thing for a generation that's gone through divorce.
Yeah, definitely. And a generation that sees more and more of it as well. A great message. Now, with each campaign here, I'm noticing, is there a trailer for each book?
Yeah.
There actually is a trailer.
That's fantastic.
Wow.
Now Eclipse. This Mike, this is your baby right here.
Yeah, it's a classic hero story, but it's based in Hawaii. The hero is from Hawaii. He causes some issues come up, but he's looked at as almost a folk hero or of the actual islands. And being that Hawaii is an island that's pretty much by itself, it's 8 main islands. If you think about it, any other hero trying to show up to try to help them or save them, it's going to take a minute. Even if you're Superman, you can go really fast. So he's actually on site. This is where he's born, his livelihood. So something major happens that causes the interest of some government officials from the mainland that makes them want to get interested on what's going on with this guy. Before they was like, we'll see. Yeah, he's over there. But then something major happens and they're like, oh, we need to see what's up with this guy.
Yeah. Now, what made you come up with Eclipse? Like, what was your inspiration for the character?
For 17 years, not 17 years, since I was 17. And
yeah.
I'm actually 44 now. And it's like I create heroes and have all these ideas of characters in my head. And finally, dealing with Rob and Bobby Gregory, they've both been coming at me like, hey, it's time for you to do some sequential. I told them about my stories. They were like, oh man, you got something there. You got something there. When you're ready, let's do it. And always just pestering. Let's do this. Let's do this. And I just didn't feel like my art was there. And then for 2020, COVID happened. And it's like, now is the time. And I felt like my art was there where I felt good about it. And so I'm introducing the world to my sequential arts, my story. I got a whole world plan with a whole group of catalysts, which are like short, like a type of mutants, but what causes them and its issues that come up with it. But it's more grounded in kind of reality kind of thing, but not reality in the sense that it's not it's superheroes, but it's real life issues where it's human.
Yeah. Nah, I dig that. I mean, I love the style of this because it reminds me of my comics. Like me, man, I grew up in the 90s. My comics are primarily 90s books. And like this right here, visually, I'm gripped. Like I'm really digging this. This looks great. And I love the character design. Very unique costume. Tell me a little bit about the costume. I mean, obviously, we've got the Eclipse. So is it that play on that whole?
So are we? I don't know how much I'm revealing about his powers, but there's a world where people have different type of powers. There's a question mark on whether these particular powers that he has generated are from what everybody else's powers have started developing, or is it something else? And I don't really want to reveal fully what that is.
Sure.
But his powers, he has gravitational powers, and he also had and it's based off of the sun and the moon kind of thing. And so the eclipse, or I can say this because this is what's going to be in the book, the eclipse, the moon, the sun, all that plays a part on his strength and sometimes his weakness.
Okay. Very cool, man. That's awesome. I like that.
Sealie,
I like that a lot.
Sealie, would you say it's kind of like Inhumans versus mutants? The idea between the two?
A little bit, yeah. Mutants and humans, it's a little bit of that, but I mean the origin is all Earth origin, I would say.
I got you.
It's just what's the connective tissue that draws it together, and then everybody else that knows about the other powered people that's on Earth, they just kind of question on this particular guy. So he's a good tip off of what's really big that's coming, because we got a whole world already partially written.
Oh, very cool, man. I like that. That's going to be awesome. And then we've got here now Reapers.
Yes.
Let's dive into this.
Yeah, it's a kind of I came up with it. There was a poll, I think it was on Twitter or something like that. What's the next big thing? Is it going to be futuristic? Is it going to be paranormal? I said, why not paranormal futuristic? And why don't we put a splash of little rockabilly in there too? Because ever since I heard Southern culture on the skits, kind of rockabilly's always been in the back of my mind somewhere. So, but yeah, so this is, this basically there's a black market for harvesting this energy, like residual energy, or sometimes ghosts or spirits, as we consider it. And so they use that. This is just one group called the Ragtops that are going out fighting other groups that are also harvesting this energy and trying to sell it on the black market. Of course, there's also what's called the Gerasol lights, and you kind of see it in the background on that cover, where it's just these mysterious lights that appear in the sky. These orbs, they think they might be spirits. They kind of want to get to that because they think that's an abundance of energy, but people have not come back from that. And of course, all sorts of weird stuff has happened, psychic vampires and alien reverends and things like that. And of course, other money-hungry groups. So just kind of a fun, just a fun thing to do,
Nice. Yeah, no, I love the character design. And I was looking down here on the title screen here for this video with some of the character design and things that you have. So that's cool. So where did the idea, though, that came? So you're like, all right, I'm going to take, kind of a futuristic setting, bring the paranormal world in here. Now, as a fan of the paranormal and a ghost hunter as part of my repertoire, are you truly a fan of the paranormal?
Well, let me tell you this much. My youngest daughter, who's about 10, I probably shouldn't admit this, but we like to watch you ever heard of like Nuke's Top 5 and all those ghost hunting things? We like to watch that just to see, like, oh, is that fake? Is that real? That kind of thing. So we really like the shadow people. So that kind of, so, and especially nowadays, you see all this paranormal equipment being used. It's like, wow, you imagine where that would be in the future, what we can do with that. So.
Exactly. And I like that because, I mean, what do they say ghosts could be? What spirits could be? It could be energy, right?
Exactly.
So you're now harnessing that energy and selling it. I think that's a great concept. And I have to say, though, like when you're actually into like the paranormal stuff, you get it. Like you truly get what you put together, and that's really cool. I'm excited to see because, I know with Eclipse, they've got a little bit more of a preview here. You're seeing some more stuff. And here it's a little more of a tease, I have to say.
Oh yeah.
So I'm very intrigued. And then so next up now after Reaper, we're looking at what do we have? We've got Only Death Can Save Us. How did you guys get involved with Russ?
I've actually known Russ for a little while, and we helped promote the campaign when it was on Indiegogo. He's been on the show, a good friend. We definitely talk about things behind the scenes. And he came up to me and he said, "Hey, do you want the first 8 pages?" And I said yes, because I thought of this moment, and I talked to him about it. We're now going to have Russ Leach, who's in England. He's going to have this on tables in America. This is a literal crossover between international creators and American creators starting right now. And if they like what they see, they can go to him. And of course, Terraform's also debating getting involved with creators from across the pond and representing them in America, even going as far as to print the books for them while here to, shipping from across the sea is killer. So what if we printed the books? So this is kind of a test for that market. Let's see if we can help drum up some business for Russ. And Russ, also creator of the Only Death Can Save Us, made this amazing cover for us. Look at that beautiful standard cover. I was blown away by it. I was amazed by it. This is what happens when you work together. I can't stress this enough. When a creator comes up to you and says, "Hey, do you want the first 8 pages?" You don't say no when they're as great as his, and you embrace it. Now I get to go to every show. Mike gets to go to every show. The other Mike gets to go to every show, and they get to say, "Look at this great art. This guy's in England, but he's here right now with you." That's the power of the Continuum, taking creators wherever we go as well.
Yeah, no, that is awesome. And I think now let me ask you guys a question, because you have your standard cover, right? And then it appears like so all your other covers are kind of shown off here. And then we come down and we've got the Eclipse Virgin cover, Wolf Virgin cover. By the way, I love the character design for Wolf as well. Looks amazing. Team Death Virgin cover. How cool is that?
And if you're a Speech fan, that's the first time you're seeing a cover like that. So you can jump on it now and have something from Russ.
You've got the Reapers cover, Virgin cover. I mean, this is such a cool concept. Now, let me ask you though. So you're doing this now, right? Terraform is building. You're expanding. You now are becoming like a cohesive unit, right? Of creators supporting each other. You guys will all, will have, I'm sure, copies of this that you can then promote in this and distribute. And while you're promoting your own stuff, you're promoting the team. Will this become an annual thing? How is this going to work? Because this is like a great preview book. This is like your own previews.
We're looking to put as many out as humanly possible every year. We're aiming for 3 this year. Next year, we're going to aim for 6. And then if we can get it to a point where it's monthly, we'll go monthly. It's very, with crowdfunding and all that, we have to see what the fans want. We're going to try to keep it a 40-page. What's really great about this is, okay, let's say that you decide to jump on. And you're like, hey, I want to be part of the Continuum. I made this 6-page story. Let's say we're on our 5th issue, right? That means that we're going to allow you to buy every back issue. So if you're a brand new creator who puts in a 4-page story, but you want to go to a show, you now can buy those other issues and you can set up at a table. We all win when these books get sold because these are literal reflections of our work where you like what you see, you come find us. We have more work to give you. We're expanding our library. We're working together. This is the proof that literally you can actually just work with other creators and we can all rise at the same time. We don't have to be competition. We can just entertain the fans. There are billions of fans out there wanting this. Let's give them what they want.
Exactly. No, and you guys are putting together some great stuff here. I mean, everything looks professional, right? I mean, nothing looks half-assed or whatever done, however you want to call it. I mean, everything looks pretty straightforward. And what's cool, it's like, all right, here's what we got. Here's what's coming up, folks. Order the Continuum. You're going to get a preview of everything. You like this? Here you go. This series is actually going to go off. So while this is crowdfunding, C and Mike are getting ready to, I assume, crowdfund their books. Is that going to be the way it's going to go? So if you want to get the rest of Reaper or Eclipse, now you have those campaigns to look forward to. So in reality, you guys can be putting out, let's say, a Continuum every quarter. If you get your system going, fluid, yet all your creators are also. So I mean, like literally, you could have like 7 books, like in production every quarter. Because right, 2, 4, 6 creators, creative teams working, plus the Continuum giving the preview of, all right, here we go. I mean, I think you guys are set up for something great here. This is awesome. I really appreciate you bringing this to my attention and coming on the show to talk about it, because there's a lot of groups out there, right? Indie creators that work together and they'll work on projects, their own projects. They kind of have their thing, but it's not a unified group of creators. Like it's not like an actual structured, organized group. And this is pretty cool. Yeah, this is cool. And I, we've had a couple of these creators that are in a part of this on our show. It's good to see the evolving of Terraform. I remember when it was first brought to our attention that you guys were even putting this together, but now seeing the logo, seeing everything you guys are doing, I mean, it's really been brought to fruition, and it's absolutely fantastic. I'm excited for you guys. This is cool because we are in the golden age, man. This is, yes, my business partner, my partner in crime, Billy Tucci, unfortunately couldn't be here tonight. He's done it, man. He did it when we didn't even have computers to do these things and whatnot. Yeah. He just said, screw the big 2, all those guys. I'm doing my own thing. He put his book out. It was an overnight success. He's been known as an indie legend for, as so on, Brian Polito, all these guys that took matters into their own hands. And, I think if this can stay on the course you guys are on, you'll be at that caliber someday. And it's definitely really cool. It really is. And it's different. This is truly different than a lot of stuff I'm seeing out there as far as the concept of what you're doing.
And remember, the point is to bring as many people with us as we can.
Exactly.
And we already got stuff already we're curating for issue 2 and issue 3.
Yeah, so we of course we're never going to rush anything out. That's not to say that we are trying to.
We want quality.
No, definitely. And you guys are funded. You've met your goal. There's 16 days to go, viewers out there. So please, if you like what they're doing, if you like the concept of what they're doing, maybe someday you want to be a part of this, back this campaign. Share the campaign. Share it on your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram. Let's continue supporting and growing the indie community, because you can see what happens when independent creators get together. right? Something such as this starts to terraform, right? A new world of imagination.
I see what you did there.
Nation.
I can say this. A bunch of creators also came together, gave us their PDFs for their books. So everyone's going to get who backs this campaign, whether it's $1, whether it's $75. Everyone gets a PDF library card, which will be full of over 300 pages of comics already. 12 PDFs. You could get that for just $1.
Yeah.
That's incredible. That is awesome. Now I want to ask you guys a question. So you're hitting this with the Kickstarter market. Are you going to try to bring this over to the Indiegogo backers?
Never say no to nothing.
There you go. Sell. But awesome, man. This is really cool. I really appreciate you bringing this to the show. We'll help spread the word. We'll continue sharing the campaign through our Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We'll try to bring it up. If you want, I see you have 16 days to go. If I can get a little slot towards the end of the campaign, if you still want to do a final push, maybe I can get you guys back on just to give it another quick push, or Rob, if you want to get some of the other creators on to do it, maybe we can put something together real quick. But yeah, Rob, Mike, thank you guys for coming on to Crowdfunding Comics. This is awesome. Really digging this. This is great. I can't really say enough because I just like the whole unity of everything. I really do. It's cool. And I've seen stuff, but now I know, right? Like I've seen posts, I've seen things. I'm like, that's cool. But now, like, I've gotten to absorb everything. I completely understand what you're doing, and please keep me in the loop, guys, on what you're doing. And let's do more. Let's do more streams. Let's do stuff. This is definitely really cool. Very cool. So, guys, thank you so much for coming on Crowdfunding Comics. You are always welcome. Once you come on Crowdfunding Comics, whenever you're on a POPXP network series, you become part of the POPXP family. So, please, if you're working on other projects of your own, reach out to us. We'll do whatever we can to help promote your stuff. Or even if you see a post where it's like, oh, wow, they're going to have so-and-so on the show. Hey, Nile, I love that dude. Cool. Join the party. Let's hang out. So, you guys are always welcome to come on any stream that interests you. So, gentlemen, have yourselves a great night. Good luck with everything. Everyone out there, if you love what we're doing here on Crowdfunding Comics, please click that subscribe button and smash the bell to get notifications when we go live and we upload some awesome new content. Till next time, everyone, have a great night, and we'll see you all on the next Crowdfunding Comics.
Hello, and thank you for your interest in the story of Eclipse. This is a tale of a hero whose sole purpose and priority is to protect the islands of the Pacific in Hawaii, his home. My name is Mike Sealie, and I'm the creator and artist for Eclipse.
In the wake of tragic events, a super-powered being has become a person of interest. With his intentions being unclear, bringing him in may be the only choice to keep the Hawaiian Islands safe. Can Eclipse be trusted, or is he hiding his true nature? One that has the potential to burn down the Hawaiian Islands he calls home.
The story of Eclipse is a catalyst to introduce a universe with the sole purpose of evoking excitement, wonder, and interest in what we all have grown to love in our favorite superhero comics and movies. Thank you for watching this video, and please consider backing, sharing this project to all your social media sites.
In the middle of the U.S., there is a small city called Jax, once protected by a duo of inspiring protectors. But in recent weeks, something has changed. The duo has seemingly split their partnership in the city in half. Tonight, criminals have made the mistake of trying to escape into the Wolf's territory. A mistake they will come to regret.
When spirits can be harvested and sold for energy, the Ragtops must navigate psychic vampires, alien reverends, and other money-hungry groups to reap that sweet, sweet spiritual gold.
20 billion years ago, as the Second Age gave way to the Third, one last great war raged between Satana's forces of cruel chaos, who had ruled for a sliver of eternity, and the forces of order, who sought to remake things anew. The Supreme called her warlords the Pillars of Creation. Their purpose was not to bring apocalypse, but to welcome forth the New Age. Over time, their true purpose would be forgotten, for such is the fate of legends, and only their names would be remembered. War, famine, pestilence, and death.
Damn, I loathe demons. Wretched things.
You preach to the converted, brother. Their vile number seems limitless. 6,666 by my count.
They have numbers, aye, but their arrogance will yet be their undoing. Mark my words, brothers.
You speak true, Sister Pestilence. Even now, our mistress builds a prison to house them. A prison of love. She asks only that we lead them there. This is the word.
Then let us draw succor from it.
And thus it came to pass that the Third Age began with the vanquishing of evil and the renewal of life. But evil is patient. It clings to the dark places and waits for its moment to strike.
We shall know glory this day, my brothers.
What was won that day was a battle, not the war. That would come later.
We shall know glory this day, my brothers.
Hold on there, little lady. It doesn't have to go down like this. Do you even know who I am? Look, about what happened before. I think we might have time for some fun. Just you and me. We have bigger fish to fry. We need each other if we're going to make it out of this. Okay, look. I'll be the bigger one. We need each other right now.
Jesus Christ! Oh.
You gonna be the bigger man too?
Harmony. Your name is Harmony. You remember that, right? You don't remember me? Max?
Wait, please. We can help you. Okay.
You're here for the girl, right? You're here for Dawn, right? You're here to rescue her? We can take you to her.
Where is she?
I said we can take you to her. You'll never get anywhere near her. Silas will never let you anywhere near her.
Who is Silas? I asked who Silas was.
Listen, you might be suffering from a concussion, and might have a little bit of an amnesia, but no, wait, see, it's okay, really, it's fine. Silas Lovecraft is the owner and head scientist of post-life research for New Gen Industries. He's the one that went kidnapped Dawn and strapped to this machine that's causing all this stuff.
Causing what?
The dead. Okay, he's found a way to tap into this amazing girl's abilities and bring the dead to life. So who knows what else he's going to use this little girl and her abilities to bring to life. Okay, that's why we need to hurry and help her. That's why you're here. Remember?
Give me your weapon.
You're gonna need my help.
You can give it to me, or I shoot you in the head like your friend over there and take it from you. You choose.
Looks like your memory's starting to come back after all.
Yeah, little by little.
Yep. That's the Harmony I know.
How many people are holding the girl?
People? Silas has a small army of the undead, but she's held in the main lab and there's only a single guard.
How far is it from here?
10 miles, but it's 10 miles through them.
Then we better get started.
You got a plan?
Is there a vehicle outside?
Yeah, there's a vehicle out front when we came in. Walter has the keys.
Get his keys. No! You get him. He was your friend. I remember now.
So, this is how it's gonna be?
If you mean me in charge and telling you what to do and when, yeah, that's how it's gonna be.
Look, we need to work together in order to get out of here, okay? We don't have much time, and these creatures are far more formidable than you realize.
Just like all the movies, right? Slow-moving bags of pus you have to shoot in the head to put down.
Look, you need to understand. These nightmares have been brought to life by a machine feeding off an amazing little girl and her abilities, okay? These zombies are from her imagination and how she perceives them. So these creatures are far more scary than anything you could possibly see in movies. They can think, they can plan, and more.
Well, isn't that just great?
We need to work together before Silas brings any more things to life while she's strapped to that machine.
So now what, boss?
I came here with a team. I remember that. Where are they?
Dead, I assume. You're the only one left. Lucky me.
So, what, I take it you two know each other?
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah, that's coming back to me now, too. Happy to see you too, babe.
That's great. Former lovers on opposite sides now.
Shut up!
They got the power too?
Oh, shit.
Oh shit! Shoot!
They can use weapons too?
Yeah, thank the little girl when you see her. She's got one hell of an imagination.
Well, if we're gonna do something, we better do something now, before more of them realize the open door.
Where's the car?
It's out front.
You want to lead the way, hero?
I would feel better about it if I had my gun back.
Don't worry, princess. I'll have mine. Just move.
This isn't what I signed up for.
No, Doc, I'm sure it isn't. But now you get to play a good guy and help me save an innocent little girl.
I never want to be... I never want to be part of something like this.
Then do the right thing and take me to her. Okay, I'll do the rest.
There are more coming. It's now or never.
Let's move.
Hey everyone, thank you for joining us on POPXP. If you haven't already, make sure to click that subscribe button and also click the bell for notifications when we go live and we upload some awesome new content. Also, don't forget to head on over to Twitter and follow us at the POPXP and over on Instagram at the POPXP. Thanks again everyone, and we'll see you soon.